Hello, I am Roaringbug, and welcome to my Sims 4 speed build. This build is a shell challenge from Lilsimsie. It is called her Aurora shell challenge, and I decided to turn it into an onsen. An onsen is a Japanese bathhouse. So if you want this house, you will definitely have to have Snowy Escape. Snowy Escape is a game pack that has like a Japanese town in it, and it comes with a lot trait to have a bathhouse. So this shape of this house in the front for the onsen is excuse me, a little asymmetrical, and it drove me a little batty because no matter how I looked at it, the front looked a little off, but overall I'm pretty happy with the lot. I was able to fit a bar in the basement, a area to shower on the first floor, and I put a lounge area on the second floor. So I have been to Japan, and unfortunately I did not go to a bathhouse. I spent most of my time in Akihabara and just taking in the anime scene, and there is a lot of anime there and a lot of manga, and it's really cheap, but if you do not know Japanese, it will be very hard for you to find anything you can read in English. But it was a really good experience, and I really liked it. I really liked the culture, and I really liked the food. I think the best thing I did on that trip was visit the Edo Museum, and I visited, it's like a historical museum, and I also visit a science and technology museum, which was really interesting because they have like a display on robots. And the thing about robots is that the Japanese are really open to robots. They think of them as really helpful and interpersonal. But in the American culture, we think of robots as basically like Terminator. Like, we think they're going to be like invaders. When the Japanese think of robots, they're really thinking like Astro Boy, like something that is a facsimile to real life people. And they have some robots that are supposed to mimic human interaction, but it ends up looking really weird because it has this excuse me, this quality about them, the uncanny valley, which is when something looks real but is slightly not real. Like, there's something slightly off about it. And that's the weird thing about their robots. Like, they're like hyper realistic, but there's just something a little bit off about them. And I felt that when I was in the science museum, and it was really creepy. And the thing is, these robots are meant to be like, they're like meant to be like sounding boards for people who want to vent about their feelings. They're meant to be like companion robots. And it's just really weird. And I'm kind of interested in that kind of stuff. So I know that there's like a legitimate test for robots to see if they can fool people. It's like you just talk to like a robot for a while, and if you can't distinguish the robot from a real person, it's supposed to pass a test. And I think we're pretty close to having robots fool us to seem like they are engaging like people. And most of the time, I think it's because people just want a good listener. So the AI system just repeats and says appropriate things back to you. And apparently that's enough for people to think a robot is real. Though I have seen like apps for AI companions where they're supposed to like be like your friend. It's like taking a gigapet but like a step further. Like you're supposed to like talk to it in order to like raise its vocabulary and interaction with you. And I heard the developer for this app wanted a friend who passed away to still have like a digital essence of them still be alive by like responding in the way that the friend would have. And it's all very well and good intentioned, but I heard that it's not really that perfect, because I've heard reviewers say that this app system, that if you only use it to express your anxiety at 3 a.m, that AI robot will only talk to you like someone who has anxiety in 3 a.m. So those are the pitfalls of having a learning robot, a learning AI. Like if you're only gonna like talk to it when you are having like your midnight meltdown, it's gonna talk to you like a person who's always having a midnight meltdown. So now I'm actually going to talk about the build. So this build has this one square like wall, this like little cube wall in the build in the center. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just wrapped the stairs around it. And I make it into a ladder entrance to the basement level. In hindsight, I feel like I could have like made an entrance level around the pool area and just like left one of the walls in the pool open. But I kind of like it that it's a little sneaky, that you have to go down the stair in that one little 1x1 tile in order to get to the bar in the basement. I did finagle though. I don't know if it's allowed, but I turned one of the walls into one of those freezes, like those fancy little top design bars, because I couldn't get the sim to go down to the basement level with a door. So I had to like make it more open by putting a little like freeze there. And I hung one of those little like Japanese curtains, like those little short curtains that you see in like tea houses. I put it over it so it has some semblance of an entranceway there. And I put in the front entrance a 1-level dip down so that it looks like a place for you to put your shoes when you enter this onsen. And those little 1-tile bump outs in the front, I put a little platform so that it'll just be a little place, like a little platform for some planters. And I thought that looked pretty nice because I didn't know what to do with it and I didn't want it to be a dead space. So I was looking for crazy for these lockers. So those changing lockers, I think you can only find them in debug because it's really hard to find them in the catalog. Like I tried just searching the word locker to get these changing lockers for the onsen, but it didn't show up in the search, so I had a really hard time finding it. That's why before I had vending machines there. But once I did find them, I'm like, okay, great. And I put this Japanese floor level table, and if you do gameplay, like, your Sims can take a nap sitting there, which is kind of cute. And yeah, so I guess, like, on the second floor, if your Sim is hungry, they can buy a snack in the vending machine, and they can take a nap in that floor dining table area. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called a katsu, but I think I might be saying it wrong. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just gonna call it that floor table. So now I am putting tiles in the backyard area for this hot spring because it didn't fit inside the build. And I wanted it to look a little interesting, so that's why I made like a diagonal flooring, and I use half tiles to make it look nice. And I just took out these beach chairs because I thought there should be a little bit of something in the back area, and I wanted a little bit more privacy, so I just put a whole bunch of bamboo in the front area, in the back area here. So I hope the landscaping looks good. I didn't do too much. So as you can see here, I'm just rotating that hot spring. I used the camera 3, and I held on to the item by clicking on the Alt key in order to freely rotate it. But I normally build using camera 4 just because you can, like, zoom in and out of items really quickly. So now, as you can see, I am using these debug umbrellas, and I really like the colors. I think they look really, really vibrant, and I normally wouldn't use them in a regular residential lot. And I put this chimney because I really thought it would look nice in a community build. Except I got rid of the windows in the back on the wall of the chimney because I thought it wouldn't be right if there were windows there. And in that one tile, in that one little box tile space that Lilsimsie left in her build challenge, I turned it into the spot for the ladder because I completely forgot about this basement. So I decorated only with, like, stone so that it would seem like a basement level, and I basically just put a bar in it. So I used the bar that comes with Snowy Escape, and I just put, like, some bar stools, and I put a couch, and I put, what else did I put in there? I put, like, some posters, and I put some music in the form of one of those wall speakers because there wasn't really too much space in this basement level. So I just used the Snowy Escape couch, and there's that wall speaker. So I like the wall posters that come with Snowy Escape because they're very big, and I don't think we have too many really big wall murals in the game. And I just put some decorations, and for the life of me, I could not make the front of this build look nice because that front entranceway is asymmetrical to the front of the house or the front of the building. And I thought I could make it look more balanced by covering that one side with those wood paneling so that it would create the illusion that one side was a little bit less than the other side so that it would look symmetrical with that front bump out. But it wasn't really working out too well. So now I'm moving on to my screenshots, and they are from the up, down, interiors, and then all around the build. So you can see my floor plan from the top down. So if you like my build, you can get it off the gallery at roaringbug. Please like, subscribe, or leave me a comment. And thank you for watching.